So let's start with the introduction.
Hello.
Dr. Shah, if you'd like to just do a brief one-minute introduction.
Good morning, dear colleagues. My name is Dr. Kianor Shah. I'm a practicing dentist of 20 years as part-time, and the other half of my time I spend on innovation, practice improvement, standards, compliance, governance issues in the profession of dentistry. And I'm also the co-founder of Healthcare Intelligence Board.
All right, Andreas?
I think I don't need to repeat myself.
Yeah, you don't.
So.
I think we got it.
I'm Kathryn Alderman, and I implement and create no-hype practical AI solutions that can actually be measured in revenue increase and solving all common problems that we have in dentistry. But most importantly, I want to say I'm very proud that I'm Johns Hopkins engineering program for agentic AI. It was absolutely insane plan to do it, but I did it, so I'm becoming more of an engineer at this point. So my solutions are very engineer-based, very practical, and no-hype solutions.
All right, thank you. All right, so let's keep these kind of short, and so we can get a lot of material in. And I'll just ask the question, and then whoever wants to jump in, or if there's a specific question that someone has expertise on, then we can go ahead and that person could take it. If someone wants to rebuttal or add something, we could also do that, but we're just trying to keep it short. All right, so let's start with, which role do you think in a dental office is going to shrink and possibly just be non-existent in the future?
I can take that. Well, with the innovations that we see rapidly coming into commerce, I would say that we're going to lose more functions in the front desk, subsequently permitting our current staff to spend more time with patients in terms of customer care. And later in time, I think third-party services are going to be constantly reduced to AI solutions. Given that AI can't have a license, I think the dentists are most protected, the hygienists are the most protected, and in due time also there's going to be less assisting. So this is a progressive matter that's going to take time, but I think it's going to also reduce practice overhead substantially.
All right. And Kathryn, do you think that one day there will just be one person at the front desk of a pretty busy office, like 6 to 8 operatory office? Do you think that one person in the front desk could handle it all?
It's already happening, and I have practices that are extremely successful, where we have one human up front managing all the AI solutions. Basically, that human becomes an air traffic controller. It's directing AI agents and supervising AI agents. And moving forward, it's going to be compliance. We will always have to have a human in a loop. So I always talk about that we're not replacing humans. We are remodeling our teams to have that AI human in a loop and AI agents working together to become a super team. But yes, it's already happening. We already have dental offices where we have one receptionist, and it's a super busy dental practice, and that one receptionist is handling everything because she's that human in a loop.
So, and the follow-up question on that is, how much could an office save?
That's a great question. Right now, we actually have a problem, and Brian Khalid talked about it. Till we have an orchestration system, an operating system of all AI agents from different companies working together, we cannot see significant increase in revenue. What it means that right now we all work with a single solutions, AI solutions, and it's just like Brian said, and we have to have 10 TVs for all of these AI agents from different companies to work in one office. That is not revenue favorable. So unless we have an AI orchestration, AI operating system, operating AI agents, we will not start seeing significant revenue management, because the more solutions we have that are not integrated, the lower AI adoption rate. So till we really have the orchestration system, we're not going to see significant revenue increase. But right now, we do see revenue increase with using single AI solutions, but they have to be implemented correctly. Again, once it's implemented correctly, we can see revenue increase and EBITDA increase, even using AI solutions that are solving single problem. But again, we have to implement it correctly. And as we move forward, as trust AI solutions orchestrate AI agents, and we have more operating systems, we will start seeing a significant revenue increase.
Yeah, and I was going to ask about that. You know, we use the word orchestration. Maybe Andreas, could you talk about that? What is orchestration? What are AI agents? They say 2026 is the year of the agents, where they're going to be deployed in full force. What does that mean?
Maybe just to go back as well to the questions before, I think it's very important not only to mention and really focus on replacing people, reducing cost. Yes, that is important. But I think AI has so much more power in it that we can really as well, you know, improve oral care, improve the patient experience in the clinics. And I think this part of AI is really emphasized right now. And so I think we really need to focus on that even more, and really showing the benefits that AI can have. And just to your first question about the roles, I just want to add one thing. I think in times of AI, change is happening so quickly. So every role in a dental clinic in DSOs will change quickly as well, and not only in dental clinics, everywhere. I think all our, probably all our roles in 2-3 years down the road will do different things. And we will do things differently as well. I think that's very important.
And I think the playing field is getting leveled. What I mean by that is, as a periodontist, I see general dentists catching up much faster. I see a new grad catching up much faster to a seasoned dentist. I see general dentists, private practices catching up faster to DSOs because now they have the agents that are doing the practice analytics and giving all the information quickly, and the data is there. So that's something that's really exciting to see, that the underdog is going to have an advantage. My next question for any of you, do you have a comment?
Well, in terms of orchestration, there's federal agencies as well as standard bodies currently looking at it and creating an open AI system that all companies have to adapt to, because there's monopolization going on. And our number one problem currently with our AI is integration into management softwares and things of that sort. So we regularly work with these institutions to have the latest updates. You can expect something like that to happen from the HHS or from ADA or ANSI or ISO in the months to come. As to roles changing, I think that industries have to reinvent themselves. DSOs were originally founded based on the idea of providing support services to clinicians. Now those very support services are readily being provided by AI. So the question then becomes, what is going to be the role of the DSO? Or what's going to be the role of insurance companies when there are AI solutions that, say, make half of their workforce obsolete? They have to continuously reinvent themselves, for a better way of stating this. But you can expect the dentists in general to have a lot more tools at their hands to prosper more like the older model that we had, the sole proprietorship, with all these tools like trust, to level the field.
So the next topic I want to, something that's actually, I think, really a misconception out there is, what is an AI native system versus an integrated or bolt-on?
Can I take this as an? Oh, I will follow you because I'll speak as an engineer on that.
Okay, so maybe, I'm originally from Germany, and we Germans, we love cars. Now, if you think about, 20-year-old Volkswagen, and you turbocharge your 20-year-old Volkswagen with, a super, turbocharged combustion engine. Well, is that really a new car, or is that really getting you where you want? Compare it with the latest version of a 911 a 911 the Porsche.
Yeah.
I think you see the difference. I think talking about AI bolt-ons.
And if you could define it, what does it mean? What does native mean?
I think native is really, it's built ground up. It's built on AI, and the principles of AI, and really
Why is that
having
important today? Why is that more important now?
I think we're moving in that direction, and the change that we see in technology is so high. So having really the infrastructure in place and building upon the infrastructure, AI infrastructure, rather than having a 20-year-old infrastructure and trying to build a rocket on top.
Yeah.
I think that's the huge difference.
Yeah. Kathryn, do you have any comments on that?
I love to speak about no hype and real solutions. Agentic AI is a big word that is hyped up. It's a big word, but what it means that it makes autonomous decisions on the behalf of a provider and on the behalf of a team. We cannot have AI making autonomous decisions for our receptionist, for our hygienist, for our doctors. We cannot do it. It's against liability. We physically will not be able to make a truly agentic AI in dentistry or healthcare. So agentic is really hyped up word. So what we need to work on is really making the decisions where AI can help us and can automate processes, and where AI can have more flexibility and more authority. So when we're talking about what you're asking is, can AI make decisions for us? No. And actually, as AI gets more implemented and more developed, we all will have very strict regulations of having that human in a loop and not allowing AI to make autonomous decisions. We will always have to have a human in a loop. So agentic is a big hype word in dentistry, in medicine, but as an engineer, I understand there is one button I can switch. I can write a code, and my AI agents will make autonomous decisions, and I cannot do that. And none of us will be able to do that. So right now, we have AI systems and AI solutions that basically allow us automation, and basically they do what we tell them to do. We are in full control of our coding and how our solutions work. They do what we tell them to do. And honestly, it will not change in any areas, including receptionists, including revenue cycle management. They may have more decisions and more flexibility in what decisions they make, but it will never be autonomous, truly agentic AI, because we are in healthcare and we have to have strict regulations and compliance and HIPAA and security, and that's been a big part of understanding all of that being an engineering program.
Okay.
Maybe just to add, or not a contrarian view, but I would say we have to distinguish as well between patient-facing and back office and, let's say, non-patient-facing. Because I think, thinking about scheduling, I don't see a point of having, a patient, somebody, dental professional in the loop. That can be done by AI agents, going through, filling and replacing, a schedule or appointments in the schedule. I think that can be done by the system itself. Yeah. Whereas everything patient-facing, there have to be a human in the loop. So I think we have to distinguish between,
Can I echo that? When
Yes,
we're talking about agentic, so there's a big difference between, right now we have agents that can do scheduling, that can do follow-up. Agentic is basically will allow to say, hey, I decided to add a block system for root canals without telling a dentist and without telling a team that. So that's the difference on agentic, that it will make decisions to add different layers of a scheduling without human deciding on it. So that's the difference between agentic and really what we have right now.
And I think that's fine, because if you have a patient wait list and you know exactly what the patients are waiting for, instead of letting them wait for 3 weeks, you can schedule them tomorrow because somebody, some appointment opened up. I think
But-
that's the kind of automation that is
Which could-
beneficial.
It is beneficial, but you could have automated scheduling errors. You could have a wrong insurance submission forms. So there's still ultimately somebody's got to be behind there and saying, hey, this is what's going to happen tomorrow in our office. But the AI does the calls and the follow-ups. There's got to be someone involved in some capacity.
But is that someone better than the system? I mean, that's the question then.
Well, it runs afoul of regulations and standards. We have a lot of standards in place. We have laws in place with HIPAA, but people aren't following it. They're innovating regularly. A lot of these AI products are subject to cybersecurity problems. And we are not really following the books on the law, the laws on the books. So we are now starting to look at standards, and the agentic discussion, the agentic threat is probably the biggest threat. And how to write standards around it, we need your support. We are involved with these standard organizations, and would love for you guys to propose different standards. There's a dozen of them that are being designed as we speak to regulate and create oversight around these AI companies so they are safe, so they don't make those errors, and they are safe. They don't make clinical autonomous decisions on their own.
Okay, so we're going to do some rapid fire questions. I want to see how sharp you guys are. Okay, so let's start with you, Kianor. What part of AI scares you the most in dentistry?
Underutilization and autonomous decisions.
Andreas.
I would say as well, letting loose and letting the AI take over. So I think this human in the loop is important.
Yeah, Kathryn.
AI implemented correctly is your unfair advantage, not using AI.
Okay. But what do you fear?
People not using AI. It's
Just
really
not using
not
AI.
using AI. I see so many offices not using it, where every single position can have a better life and a better day right now using AI.
So are you saying there could be no issues?
Well, there is a lot of issues if it's not implemented correctly, but the biggest thing, we need to start using AI. You
Yeah.
cannot be afraid of it. We have to start using, learning, and really, this is it. This is the AI era. We have to use AI. So my biggest fear, and I have this message everywhere, use AI. You will learn, you will adopt, you will start seeing articles, you will start hearing speakers, you will know how to use it, but not using AI. That's what I'm fearful of.
Yeah, I think it's going to elevate dentists' game, augment their brain. I think continuing education is also going to be affected in a way because information is now real time. As the dentist is in a case, they can just go and ask and find out. Soon there might be a way where you can take a picture of a procedure in the middle while you're stuck, and the AI will say, go this way, this direction, and pull up a decision tree. So there's a lot of, I'll say, disruptions happening in AI, and with that, there could be some risks that it's not being done responsibly. What benefits do you guys see? Maybe Kathryn, you can start. What's the greatest benefit AI will give to dentistry?
Saving time, energy, and giving your humanity back. Having more time to connect with your patients, having more time to connect with your team members, instead of talking about statistics and billing and numbers. Getting time back. Time is the most precious asset we have. Getting time back.
Okay, Andreas, what do you think is the
I would
greatest?
really argue it's improving oral care and really making the patient experience even better through AI.
Kianor.
I would say it will improve the quality of human life if properly utilized, and the person in charge remains the licensed clinician, and that it will also improve the quality of the workforce, be it employees, be it your supplies management, be it every aspect of your practice, if you start learning it and applying it the right way.
Yeah, I think we're going to see a lot less leakage. Efficiencies are going to go up. And by leakage, you could have a patient that was supposed to get called back, and they were waiting and they didn't get called back, and that's it. You just lost the patient. So lots of benefits I see too. So let's say AI makes a mistake. Who is at fault?
Can I take this one?
Yeah.
AI will always make mistakes. This is actually a new level of leadership. I tell everybody, AI is not going to solve problems. We have to be leaders. So we have to teach AI just like we teach our new team members. We have to train AI agents. So AI will make mistakes. That's why we have to train our AI agents and we have to supervise them as well. So the mistakes will happen and we have to be able to handle it and catch on it. But so we cannot just bring AI solution and say we got it, we fixed the problem. No, it's just like bringing a team member. We need to start looking at the AI as just a new digital team members that need supervision, need training, onboarding, and supervision.
Okay, great.
I think just to add upon what Kathryn said, I think that's why AI governance is so important to really, set the right guardrails to really make it work.
Yeah. And Kianor, could you tell us, you're involved in a lot of the governance. You were at the ADA yesterday, is that correct? On
Yeah.
the standards. What kind of work are you doing with there and the global summits?
Well, at the Global Summits Institute, we are trying to build a global oversight body that is independent of governments, regulatory bodies, accreditation bodies, and so forth, and to have some kind of a uniform standards across the world for healthcare, for the healthcare industry, medical and dental. So in London, we are bringing medical doctors. I think it is about 100 experts flying in medical and dental because they know things that we don't know. And we got to look at dentistry as a different way. We are now the chosen ones. We are in the forefront of medicine and healthcare because these patients come to us twice a year. We have predictive analysis. We have patient records that we're taking in. So we are actually more important than the medical doctors now when it comes to overall patient care. So in London, we're gathering these people to sort of these issues with governance, accreditation, standards, administration, oversight, a lobby, all of these things that need to happen in the AI space. Yesterday, I was at the ADA building meeting with the standards committee to discuss the things that I hear from my colleagues that prevents them from getting engaged. Right now, the standards that we have on the books is that the dentist is ultimately responsible. That's not a good standard because the dentist can be holding the bag when the companies don't comply with certain rules. So we are looking for more standards, and we're asking you, and again, if you're interested in this topic, please talk to me, because we're talking to all of them that are involved in governance, regulation, and we want to see something happen because it's the wild, wild west. So the time is right to actually build a framework around this topic and have people comply with best practices.
Great. What do you guys think about voice as far as being the next frontier of prompting the PMS and office? AI scribes, perio and dental charting, voice, and just the fact of maybe attaching a microphone in the office. What's your take on that?
I think you got to be extremely careful. We're seeing lawsuits about violations of privacy rights. When you're in a two-party state, when you're recording somebody, and the patient hasn't given you consent, you're subject to criminal penal code. So I would be very careful with technologies and where you're located while all this stuff is being sorted out. Like taking notes while you're in the operatory in California, that would constitute a breach. That's something that we're also looking at. So it's right now, until those things are sorted out, it falls on the clinician. So if you're the person doing it, you got to be careful what state you're in and how you're conducting that.
So you're saying the main problem is what the patient didn't consent to it?
You have to have consent from both parties in order to record someone in a two-party state.
Right.
It doesn't matter where you are at, how you are. If one of those individuals is in a two-party state and you recorded them, you violated the law.
So the consent forms of the future or of the present are going to be including that. So if the patient signs off on it, there should be no problem. Is that correct?
If they give you consent, it's a great thing. If you have an arbitration agreement or something like that in California, it's a good idea to implement that in there and say, hey, you're going to likely be recorded for customer service or improvement of our AI purposes, then you would be protected.
Okay, so let's say it's legal and everything's okay, consent is signed. is this something that you guys foresee taking off?
Can I
Or
say
is this going to be a very, I think Brian Kaleo put it, failure to launch? Is it going to be one of those things that's very difficult for dentists to jump into? Yeah, Kathryn.
I love voice AI. It saves me so much time all day long. And you may have noticed I have a little bit of an accent. That's AI is the first tool that can understand me. Nothing before could understand my full sentences. Literally, I am so thrilled that I can type up emails, I can give projects, I can give directions, and I'm just all day long voice notes to my team, to my patients, to my clients. So voice is the next level. So again, practical solutions. I'm all about practical solutions. If you're a practice owner, DSO owner, implement one step where all of your patients sign a consent forms that, hey, we're moving, we are high-tech office, we're using AI solutions. Have everybody sign and consent using this new AI technology, because you're going to be adding AI agents, so it's very safe for you to have a consent form that you can use for any AI solutions that is coming along. Have all of your patients updated, make it as you marketing edge. Hey, we are high tech, we are moving forward, we are using AI digital help to provide a better care for you. But AI voice is absolutely unbelievable in every single way. Yes, it's the future.
And
it's the future.
Yeah, I agree. And I think it's going to also lead to less lawsuits, because the conversations being recorded, the transcriptions there. I mean, that's huge, because for a dentist to do treatment, 6 months later, the patient, something goes wrong. You told me 6 months ago. The dentist is second guessing themselves and saying, well, maybe I did say it. I don't know. I don't remember. So I think having that is going to be huge, and I'm very excited about that. The next thing I want to talk about is the next frontier is also diagnosing and treatment planning. So having these AIs be able to, for example, the x-rays are taken, already automatically give a periodontal diagnosis. We have the radiographic AIs already analyzing where the cavities are, where the bone loss is, where the infections are. Then we have the perio charting. And now the next frontier is basically multimodal inputs being able to diagnose and treatment plan. Now, is this going to be something that makes dentists better or lazy, is my question.
Is it going to make sense? There's a concern that there's going to be less technical knowledge by doctors. That's, always a concern. But I would, personally, I utilize it in my practice as it's a treatment plan sales tool, where patients are sitting there. I give them a diagnosis, and then I'll pull up the AI, and it confirms it, just like the intraoral camera. They see what we see. There's no, hey, here's a large treatment plan for you to take home. They see what we see, they get the explanation, and they get a second opinion, which may be wrong, which is okay, but it certainly improves the whole treatment plan sales process.
Yeah, by a show of hands, who here has some sort of radiographic AI in their office that they're using? And how helpful is it? Extremely? So why would we
Unless it starts arguing with you, right? In front of the patient?
Okay, so we're just not there yet. Okay, that's a good point, and I see that as well. We're not quite there. So hopefully when we get there, it's going to bring much more trust and convert patients and have them start treatment more. That's really what this is about. Patients, they don't fully trust dentists. And we all know that. And when you look at the comments section, you're always seeing, oh, my dentist charged me this. They said I have 5 cavities, I have this. And it's really not a good feeling when you're a practitioner. So I think this is going to create that trust in what I call the 1,000th opinion, because it's not a second opinion. This has been trained by thousands, so it gives us that approval by many other dentists, doctors, specialists. We have less than a minute, so any final words that you guys want to say before we end this?
Well, I can talk about it nonstop. I sleep, eat, breathe, speak AI. That's all I do. I started thinking as a AI agents, and to me, it's like, hey, you put input in my head, and I will give you a conclusion. So the input is here. I'll speak as an AI engineer. Use AI correctly, implement it correctly. The output you will get a better life, better patient care, more revenue, more time, and just overall better life. But you have to be using AI, because using AI correctly is your unfair advantage in life.
Great. Andreas, parting words?
Just very quickly, I think, I mean, AI is really, the layer on top, and maybe throughput and output. What we haven't discussed and didn't even touch upon is the input, and that's data. And I think data is so important to have structured data in place, as well in the dental clinic. So I think we will see a lot of discussions around data and how to prepare data in order to then use it for, the right use in AI in the future.
Yes, good point.
For my dentist, yes, we can take questions right after. Okay. So, do I
no questions. We got to keep on schedule.
Yeah, we've been doing really good with the schedule. Let's keep it that way. What is it?
Well,
10 seconds?
My last thought for especially my doctor colleagues in the audience, as doctors, it's our duty to utilize the best technologies and equipment that are available to us to improve patients' treatment and care. And if you don't start using, be very frank with you, if you don't start using AI in some capacity, you're going to have legal problems in 5 years, because they will ask you, did you utilize AI to increase the possibility of providing better care? And if your answer is no, then you can just imagine the consequences of that. But start using it cautiously and carefully until it develops more. That's my final thought.
All right. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everybody.